Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. For any of you who don't already know me, I'm Beth Carver-Weiss, President of the Board of the American Friends of Attingham, and it's my great pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Attingham alumnus and former AFA board member Paul Parvis. You may already know that Paul served the board for several years as vice president for finance and treasurer. He has extensive experience in the areas of philanthropic legacies and planned giving, having worked in those areas throughout his career at numerous organizations, including the Taft School in Connecticut, the New York Botanical Garden, the Connecticut Historical Society, and Sleepy Hollow Restorations. Although he's now retired, Paul continues to lecture on this topic, and today he will be offering us some very simple ways in which we can name the American Friends of Attingham as a beneficiary in our estate planning. If you do that, you would become a member of our Phelps Warren Society, which honors those who have included the American Friends of Attingham as a beneficiary. And you can find more information on the Phelps Warren Society website. So now I'll thank you again for tuning in and turn the program over to Paul. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Beth and Aaron, for indulging the offer to speak about planned giving. I will focus on one easy to understand planned gift type. And as I want to remind everyone, all planned giving is painless giving. And planned gifts include bequests, lead trusts, charitable remainder trusts, retirement gifts, and life income gifts. But I'm going to focus on one in particular that is very easy to understand. In fact, also very easy to put in place for Attingham or any other charity. As you saw, I participated in 3 programs, and all of them were absolutely splendid, fantastic. And it's really this love and passion for Attingham that I think should compel all of us to really think about its future. Obviously, here are the reasons why I think it's a great organization, incomparable experience, great access to collections, great networking. You're with people who speak the same language and enjoy what you're seeing. There's no experience like it. My motivation for the presentation, there are several reasons. One, planned gifts can build endowments, which in turn help take the pressure off annual funds, goals vis-a-vis inflation and economic downturns. Endowment support will combat rising program tuition costs, enabling serious students of all economic strata to attend, enjoy, learn, and benefit. Many gift acceptance policies channel planned gifts into the endowment, as they should, especially if donor restricted. Unrestricted gifts for endowment are most desirable and afford enhanced flexibility to address needs deemed as organizational priorities. Following decades in the museum business, I found the estate or planned giving work and law quite upscale in the world of fundraising and satisfying, enabling donors to understand ways to leverage gifts, realize charitable impact not thought possible, as well as thwart taxes. The fascination for the subject easily and intensively grew, as did the successes in securing and stewarding planned gifts. Hence, in some measure, the career pivot to fundraising, and as Beth commented a few days ago, a subject not remotely offered in our respective graduate programs. Can't say it any better. I want to demystify this whole notion of planned giving. The easiest way that you can provide a gift for Attingham would be through your retirement plans, IRA, donor advised fund, life insurance mutual funds. This sort of gift can involve anybody of any age, no matter their net worth. It's also an extremely efficient way to provide a planned gift to Attingham, and it's also one way to avoid severe tax levies. Anything given to a non-spouse, particularly with 401k, IRA, would be heavily taxed, and otherwise AFA would get every single penny of the gift if you gave it to the American Friends of Attingham. Plus, there's very little delay with regard to the gift. It does not go through an estate or through a will. It would go directly from the custodian to the American Friends of Attingham. So 1 to 2 or 3 months time lag. So how can this be done? It's so simple. Whenever there's a life-changing event, such as a move or a child, anything else, you should really take a look at your estate plan, and you should really take a look at your beneficiaries, particularly in the 401k area, life insurance policies, etc. Going online, I could change all of my beneficiaries. I could change the names, I could change the amounts, and I can do that anytime going forward. But in about 1 hour, I updated all of my beneficiaries and percentages going to charities. Now, of course, I named my wife as primary, as you probably should, and or your children. But then you have what are called contingency beneficiaries or secondary. And that is where you can name your favorite charity, American Friends of Attingham, Metropolitan, you name it. And again, very, very flexible to change. The other thing too is if you need to change something within a will, then you're looking at a codicil. And a codicil can take time and money because you need the services of an attorney in order to make that occur. Every time I would change the beneficiary, I was asked for contact information, and I gave them everything I could possibly give them. The name, American Friends of Attingham, name, address, email, and importantly, I included the American Friends of Attingham as a 501c3 charitable educational organization and the EIN number. In the world of planned giving, it's important to make life easy for the custodian or anyone else. So rather than for them trying to find information, provide it to them. Check your beneficiary designations every 2 years to be certain they are accurate. Obviously, when you're putting together an estate plan, you want to discuss it with your family, and I would highly recommend including your attorney or financial planner. I will say this, that many financial planners were not, say, up to speed with plan giving. So someone such as myself or anyone else in an office setting with the knowledge about plan giving would be useful. Directly leaving retirement assets to a non-spouse would be subject to egregious tax. And like I said, every penny of your retirement plan would go to Attingham, every single penny. And some of you know Jeffrey Beard. I certainly haven't forgotten him. Onward, he would say. So do not wait. I also would say that many people would ask me, well, Paul, can you recommend an attorney? There's ACTEC, American College of Trusts and Estates Counsel. And it's a great resource. In fact, I found my attorney here in Delaware. She is fantastic. The college vets attorneys to make sure they are knowledgeable about plan and estate planning. We had a very, very good experience with her. So anywhere you live in the country, very likely you can find somebody. If you don't have an attorney, you can certainly use this resource. And as an aside, I would very much recommend that you all consider a will, no matter your age, no matter your net worth, because it's not just about leaving assets to an organization. It's also managing your digital assets in the event you're incapacitated. Who's going to take care of your online banking accounts or your social media accounts? Power of appointment in case you are, again, incapacitated, someone who can pay your bills or act on your behalf in contractual matters, signing healthcare releases, etc. Healthcare directive, appointing a conservator who can take care of your affairs, and also appointment of a guardian. Obviously, a lot more involved to create this. And also here you can leave a bequest to Attingham. A bequest very likely would involve maybe 9 to 12 months for it to actually reach Attingham, but 60 or 65% of the people in this country do not have a will. And that's not a good thing. We have a trust. Retirement plans, again, review. And many people should know this, that if you name a beneficiary in a retirement plan, IRA, life insurance policy, those funds bypass a will. So you need to make sure you understand that. So when you're looking at the big picture, understand that some assets will not go through a will unless you want them to, which is perhaps not a good idea. But particularly retirement monies, they should go directly from the custodian to a charity to avoid a lot of tax. So why is it important to perhaps consider the American Friends of Attingham regarding an estate gift? It's self-explanatory. I think that an endowment is the future of any charity, charitable organization, and it provides financial stability. It certainly provides the wherewithal, necessary resources for excellent programming, robust scholarship assistance, which, as we all know, the tuition is going up and perhaps getting out of the reach of many, which is unfortunate. And all that's going on behind the scenes requires staffing and an office and a computer. And so the funding would help offset the costs of operating Attingham now and well into the future. Attingham fortunately has an endowment, but a bigger one would absolutely ensure the future of AFA without any disruption, perhaps due to economic malaise or what have you. So I highly recommend that you think about a gift for Attingham. Again, we all benefited from the programming. I constantly think about how fortunate I was to be able to participate. So it was not hard for us to figure out that AFA deserves a gift from the Parvises. As I mentioned before, if you're considering a named gift, there is a threshold. Attingham is 50,000. A full endowed scholarship would be approximately 150,000. And planned gifts are usually 20 times or more than the annual gift. That doesn't mean to say that people who make a planned gift will no longer provide annual appeal gifts. That is far from the truth. In fact, they may give more money, more to the annual appeal. And it's been my experience that there have been donors who would give $100 year in, year out. And at the end of life, a gift would come in six-figure or seven-figure territory. I also want to emphasize that it's not the size of the gift. Any gift size is appreciated. It could be anywhere from 1,000 to 1 million. Again, you don't need to be Warren Buffett, Bess of Hardwick, or someone of extreme high net worth in order to make a difference. And that's what we're doing. We're all making a difference here. Again, if you are so inclined to make a planned gift, you'd be welcomed into the Phelps Warren Society, and it does entitle you to various programming and certainly any details regarding American Friends of Attingham initiatives or any other ideas. So you're actually part of a group that provides somewhat of a sounding board for the board in terms of programming with regards to being effective or perhaps what other program might be considered. I also want to emphasize that when you create a planned gift, when you're changing your beneficiaries or you leave a bequest in your will or revocable trust or anything like that, they are non-binding per se. There are some planned gifts that are irrevocable and binding, particularly life income gifts. But again, there's a lot of flexibility with this. So if you're considering naming AFA in a retirement plan, life insurance, or what have you, it's a non-binding event. Roughly 98% of the people who make a planned gift, the planned gifts actually go to the organization to which they have made it. And as I mentioned earlier, there are other planned gifts outside the scope: real estate, crypto, remainder trusts, a testamentary CRUT. That's one way to move assets from a IRA to a family member, a non-spouse family member, without a huge tax hit. Pool income fund with a charity, gift annuity with a charity, lead trusts, and there are ways to set up planned gifts with other organizations, such as, say, Williamsburg or Sturbridge, that could vicariously benefit someone who's interested in attending an Attingham program. It's a neat way to double leverage a gift, but it has been done. Martha and I have named the American Friends of Attingham in our estate plan, using the brilliant strategy of a donor-advised fund. I've said to many people, Martha, I feel like grown-ups now because we have a donor-advised fund. Anyway, thank you. And if there are questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Hi, Paul. Thank you so much for that really helpful talk. And I just wanted to say, as you have said, if you do decide to include Attingham in your estate planning, please do let the office know so that we can include you in any future programs. Here's Erin's address and phone number if you do want to speak with her. And with that, I will thank you all so much for coming, and thank Paul especially. We're so lucky to have you as someone who can help guide us and help secure Attingham's future. Bye-bye.